Founded in 1995, Frango Norte began its chicken slaughter operations in the town of Paraíso, Tocantins, with the daily slaughtering of 5,000 birds, sold only refrigerated. In 2000, the company started its partnership with the Alimentos group and started to produce frozen products. To meet the market demand for poultry and sausages and aiming to increase its production capacity, Frango Norte began its integration project in 2006. Currently, it's slaughtering 43,000 birds a day, of which 55% originated from its own integration, corresponding to 1.1 million birds housed in each cycle, distributed in 40 farms in a radius of 70 kilometers around the city Paraíso do Tocantins. To enable this growth, in 2007, Frango Norte built a feed mill that is currently producing 2,400 tons of feed monthly, consisting of the following raw materials: 1,600 tons of corn, 550 tons of soybeans, and 220 tons of soybean meal. As planned by the company, the goal is to slaughter 60,000 birds a day by the end of 2011, including the export of its products. For the year 2012, the goal is to reach 120,000 birds a day, with all the chickens coming from its own integration. So there will be a demand for 160 new poultry houses of 30,000 birds each. To achieve this goal, there will be approximately 5.8 million birds housed, with a consumption of 40,000 tons of feed a month, or 9,000 tons of corn, 3,200 tons of soybeans, and 1,250 tons of soybean meal. This growth is directly reflected in the development of the state, because it generates direct and indirect jobs, strengthening regional trade, especially for the 16 towns that comprise the irrigation project. The reason for this increase in production is the result of the good acceptance of our products in the consumer market, a result of strict quality control throughout the production chain, inspected by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. The company has a mix of over 200 products, a sales team constantly trained to meet customer demands and employs 3 supervisors and approximately 50 sales representatives, having over 8,000 registered customers in 250 towns. To improve the service to the Parrots Beak region and southern Maranhão, the company has a distribution center in Araguaína, an operation with a fleet of 40 trucks supplying the entire state of Tocantins, southern Pará and Maranhão. Alimentos supplies the hatchlings to the Frango Norte chicken farms. is one of the largest Brazilian companies in the sector of sales of hatchling eggs and hatchlings of one day, operating in several states and abroad. To get to the stage of hatchlings for slaughtering, there are several generations, as demonstrated by the genetic pyramid that shows where the chicken comes from. Grandparents' farms are the farms where chickens that give birth to matrices are created, which are the grandmothers of the chickens. The one-day's grandparents are purchased from an American company with a branch in São José do Rio Preto, in São Paulo state. Alimentos production is approximately 1.1 million matrices a year, and 100% of it housed in their own barn. Rearing farms are farms where the matrices or grandparents are raised from 1 day to 24 weeks old, and they have the capacity to house and rear 1.2 million matrices a year. In these units, the objective is to prepare the bird for egg production. For a good egg production, and consequently of hatchlings, it's important to synchronize the sexual maturity of the birds. The uniform control of the bird weight and the lightning stimuli are fundamental tools to achieve this goal. Integration of matrices. There are farms where chickens that give birth to slaughtering chickens are reared. Matrices are the mothers of the slaughtering chickens. In this system, the integrated farmer is responsible for labor and the maintenance of the farm, and receives a percentage of the production of eggs suitable for the hatching. The company sends the reared matrices, feed, vaccines and disinfectants, and provides technical assistance. Hatchery is the building where the incubators are located, where they hatch the eggs produced by the grandparents or matrices. They receive 630,000 eggs produced daily on the matrices farm. It is responsible for the selecting and classification of the hatchling eggs, because only good quality eggs can be incubated. thus contributing to the production of healthy hatchlings. The facilities are systematically cleaned and disinfected, with the goal of keeping the environment clean and free of contaminants that may compromise the quality of the hatchlings. The eggs are hatched on incubators with up to 120,000 eggs each, with controlled temperature and humidity. After the hatchling are hatched, they are transported in special trucks with a modern cooling system, ensuring the safety and health of the hatchlings. After reaching the farm, the birds go through specialized handling, starting with nutrition, where soybeans and corn, the main components of the food, ensure the nutrition of the birds to stage of slaughter, about 44 years old and weighing about 2.6 kilo. In these farms we establish partnership with farmers in the region near the slaughterhouse. This partnership is what we call vertical integration or just integration, which works as follows. The farmer interested in the activity must own a suitable farm, builds the aviary with all necessary facilities, supplies all the labor, electricity and whatever is necessary for its operation. In turn, the company provides all necessary inputs to production, from hatchlings to vaccines and feed, medicines, disinfectants and transport of poultry and animal feed. The integrated producer, in terms of his productivity, has a stake in the volume delivered back to the slaughterhouse, being paid according to his share of the sales value of the slaughtered poultry. That is, when the market price rises or when the producer has a good yield, both parties win. The integration process begins with the selection of stakeholders for the partnership and survey of the area where the aviary is to be built. After the approval, the company issues an approval letter for the integrator, and he can initiate the development of the construction project. After the project is approved, the construction and installation of equipment begin, which are accompanied by the company. At the end of the construction, the technical delivery occurs, where all the details of functionality of the aviary are checked. With the aviary ready and approved, the housing of the hatchlings and the preparing of the farm for receiving them will be scheduled. After housing, the producer is responsible for the birds, having to follow the technical guidelines of the company until the chicken is ready for slaughter. The loading or catching of the birds is done by an outsourced team of the company that's constantly trained so that the bird suffers as little as possible during this process. Industrial process quality assurance. After the process of breeding and fattening, the birds come to the slaughterhouse with due respect to animal welfare. For this, the plant has facilities for the rest of the birds equipped with ventilation and humidity control. The slaughter is performed in an industrial plant with the latest technology, with an increasing degree of automation of the slaughtering and processing of birds. Before starting the slaughtering process, a checking of the documents accompanying the birds is made, and the process of quality control is started, which is repeated throughout all stages: hanging, bleeding, scalding, plucking, evisceration, pre-cooling, packaging of the whole chicken, and of cuts that are classified according to the consumer demands, boning of the thigh, and drumstick sausage production, standardization of products, freezing, storing, and shipping. To ensure a quality product that is safe for the health of the consumer, Frango Norte adopts 18 self-control programs. Among them we highlight the OPP-ASS, Operating Procedures and Pre-Operational Sanitation Standard Program, and the international program HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Crystal Control Points. The quality management team rigidly follows and monitors each one of the different stages of production and capacitates and empowers employees to take all necessary care with the products and to adopt hygienic measures, thus ensuring the quality of the product that arrives at the consumer's table. The quality management team rigidly follows and monitors each one of the different stages of production and capacitates and empowers employees to take all necessary care with the products and to adopt hygienic measures, thus ensuring the quality of the product that arrives at the consumer's table. All self-control programs follow the standards prescribed by the Ministry of Agriculture, which certifies the quality of products through the constant supervision of the Federal Inspection Service, composed of a veterinary doctor and inspection assistants. Quality of life and safety at work. Quality of life at work is a determining factor for the success of Frango Norte. Safe and healthy work conditions allow the workers to carry out their daily tasks adequately and thus promote increased productivity. More than just fulfilling the law, Frango Norte adopts good practices of health and safety at work for its workers, employing an occupational physician, occupational safety technicians, a physical therapist, a nutritionist and a technical nurse, who significantly increased their productivity. The gains are reflected in the strengthening of its public image before the consumer, the quality of its products, reduced accidents, occupational illness, absenteeism, and healthcare expenses. With quality recognized by the public and by regulation bodies, the gains are reflected in the strengthening of its public image before the consumer, the quality of their products, reduced accidents, occupational illnesses, absenteeism, and healthcare expenses. With quality recognized by the public and by regulation bodies, Frango Norte was the award-winning company of SESI Quality at Work 2010 edition prize. The SST model used by the company is based in the reality of Brazilian industry, while at the same time meeting international standards of safety and health at work. Environment. Equipped with the very latest in treatment equipment for a chicken slaughterhouse, Frango Norte has an effective filtration system capable of promoting an innovative pre-treatment concluding at the treatment ponds where all the liquid effluent is treated to eliminate all the polluting material, allowing its use as irrigation water used in the plant's green areas. It's worth mentioning that chickens are fully utilized, with no kind of residue resulting from their slaughter.